8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is good, everyone? It is your boy Politic and Hot alongside my guys, Mr. Joey Woods, Mr. Moyo Fit, Chris Wilson. We are still Steps coming to you live on a beautiful Friday evening. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
We back. Yeah. All three of us. We back.
I'm not gonna lie, that was the first time I saw the video that I made in person like that. And that the rich picture caught me off guard. I ain't gonna lie.
It stays. Yeah, we keep missing the show. We're gonna start going back to the old video. It's like, nah, this joke, Rich, Mr. Rich Michael won't be joining us this evening, but we'll hold it down, talking that turnbuckle talk. So, gentlemen, we definitely have a lot to discuss this evening. A lot of wrestling taking place this weekend. We have WWE Crown Jewel, followed by West Side Gun's fourth row, boom, 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 going down in Chicago. And we got to talk about AEW, what transpired this past Wednesday on Dynamite, because we just had one former WWE superstar make his debut. So first things first, we're going to jump right into WWE's Crown Jewel that's taking place on Saturday, November 2nd at 1 p.m., streaming exclusively on Peacock, outside of the U.S. on WWE Network. Overall, this is actually a pretty solid card that they have going on over in Saudi Arabia. Little jealous that, it's taking place overseas versus over here, because again,
the biggest card too.
Yeah, this is probably like one of the top cards of the second half of WWE. So I'm going to have that to that level. But before we actually jump into the card, is there a match that stands out before we actually talk about it? Joey, I'm gonna start with you first.
Well, obviously, it's 4 years now running. It's dominated everything that is wrestling. It's the Bloodline. Whether it's Roman, whether it's Solo, that is WWE the past 4 years. So that match has to jump out at
you. Yeah. For me, it's the Cody Gunther match, because I just want to see the implications of this. Because basically, this is supposed to be and we'll dive into it more. I'll dive into it more. What's the name? But is this match in particular, because things that lean into it and the aftermath of it, I'm kind of wondering about it.
Yeah, got you. For me, I'm actually going to go with the United States Championship, the triple threat match with LA Knight, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes, because I think this is going to be that match where a lot of eyes are going to be observing LA Knight to see whether or not, if he's going to, take that next step with the championship headed into 2025. So I think this is a really big match for him going down on Saturday. So pretty curious to see where everyone's predictions will be going for that particular match. But let's jump right into it.
Joey looks not entertained. Like, what's going on?
Well, I'm checking to see if this is real. So obviously, we know there were some cuts saying WWE, and Sean Ross Sapp tweeted about the Indy Hartwell cut. And then Cora Jay's responded and said, "Thank God."
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
I'm like, that's a little, like, I get the storyline and stuff.
Yeah, I think
that's a little rough.
That's rough. She's trying to do kayfabe stuff, but that's not
someone
cool.
Losing their job.
And trust me, somebody's going to have a conversation with her. So, somebody behind the scenes is gonna be like, "Yo, that just no."
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. For those who may not be aware, not long ago, some reports came out from Sean Ross Sapp out of Fightful of some WWE cuts, which included Indy Hartwell, Tegan Knox, and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin was actually a little bit of shock for me. Like
Yeah.
I thought he was someone that they'll keep around that would help out the younger talent, as they progress. But yeah, him apparently, serving his sides with the WWE. Like that was a bit of a shocker.
And real quick before we went on the air, I read something interesting. I don't know if it's true. I'm gonna have to fact check. But New Day's contract is up in December, and the trio is free to sign anywhere they want come January 1st.
Interesting.
Now, I don't know if that's true, but I mean, we know their booking's been kind of funky, and we know that they are friends with Omega and the Bucks, and a lot of those guys over in AEW. So, I'm not saying that anything's hitting at that, but
Yeah,
I would say that's something to keep an eye on also.
absolutely, man. For them to actually leave, that would be a little bit of a gut punch to WWE, but it might
get.
it might be necessary for them. And I know me and Chris, we talked about that. That was it last week, as far as the New Day making a full heel turn with Coffee finally seeing the light and understanding how Xavier Woods is feeling, and for him to make a full heel turn, I think it would be something that would kind of bring a little bit more energy into their roles with the company right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, because right now they're definitely kind of stale, to be honest. Because we talking about how they're like I said, 7 years ago, like they were booming, like their merchandise was selling crazy. They were always top selling merchandise. You see their stuff, colorful, merchandise all over the crowd and arenas. You don't see that as much anymore. It's like Big E was definitely a vital piece of that trio of his how animated he was, how lovable he was, and all that stuff. But he was such a character. But like right now, they really got nothing going on that's like attractive, pretty much. So it's like they're like kind of like, what do we do? So I said a heel turn would definitely be something different to give people a little more treatment to their character. But sometimes too, like it just like people could just run your course with a organization, a company, and just it's cool to just wander and do something different. Bring some new life to you. And like I said, now I'm not going to jump the gun and be like, yeah, AEW and all this stuff, but like AEW would benefit immensely with them. The tag division's always a little sus. I mean, you get the New Day in there. Obviously, there would be a different name, but it would attract a lot of people. It would get a lot of people watching to see what they would do.
Yeah, no, I agree. If they were to actually, take the option to leave the company, I would prefer to them to really seek out their options accordingly. Like do their homework. Don't just take the biggest payday. Hey, listen, I know the money is the money, but like make sure it makes sense to where you go next, if that is the case, if they do. But well, definitely go. Will be more to come with that. As we're approaching the end of the year. But till then, let's jump right into this Crown Jewel event going on tomorrow. First up, we have the about to jump the gun there. We have the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca, facing off in a fatal 4-way tag team match, defending the titles against Damage Control's Kairi Sane and Io Sky, NXT's Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven going down tomorrow. I love how strong they've been displaying these group of tag teams leading up to this Crown Jewel event. They had a pretty decent match on tonight's episode of SmackDown with Damage Control taking the win. It was a moment in that match where Bianca was getting ready to take the pinfall, but what was her name? Was it Io? Io kicked her out of the ring and took the pin, so got the win. So definitely going to be an interesting match going down tomorrow. Gentlemen, Chris, I'll start with you first. Who you got winning this fatal four-way tag team match?
I don't know who's gonna win, but I have a feeling Bianca and Jade are gonna lose. Like this, I
Oh,
just yeah, I have a
oh,
I have a weird feeling that they're gonna lose. Like, and this thing is, they're not gonna get pinned though. They're not gonna get
mm,
pinned. Was named like somebody like, and it was crazy. Is honestly, well, I'm gonna tell you who I want to win. Let's put it this way: I honestly want Piper and Chelsea Green to win because they're
okay.
like really over right now. They're really freaking over. People love them as a duo. Chelsea Green is honestly getting super over. I wouldn't be surprised in 2025 if she breaks out to be a single like front runner to be going for a world title. To be honest, like definitely like Money in the Bank could be written. This Money in the Bank could be written all over her. To be honest, but yeah, I'm in a weird way. It might be Damage Control. Like they might give it back to them again. What's his name? I got a feeling like Jade and Bianca is gonna be beating everybody up and kicking the crap out of everybody because they're just that dominant, strong, athletic tag team. But they'll do something weird, like they'll knock out somebody with a kick or punch, and they'll land on top of somebody and get the 1, 2, 3, something weird like that. Just name, but I just got a feeling I think they're slowly going to start the trend because it's November now. So people keep talking about that Jade Bianca 1-on-1 match. So if you want to start doing that little trend of it leading that way, this now is a good time to start to put those nuggets out there. I mean, because time like that, it'll be 2025 before you know it. So I'll say for prediction purposes, I'll go with Damage Control.
Damn, you kind of had me. I thought you was going to stick with Piper and Chelsea.
Nah, I got to feel it. They always like to screw them over.
Nah, it's funny because like literally what you just explained as far as like the sequence of the match is what occurred tonight, where Bianca had the upper hand. She, landed the finisher on uh on Chelsea, and then eventually, what's her name? EO just came in, knocked her out the ring, and took the pinfall. Like really, like so. I don't know. Could lightning strike twice going into tomorrow? Joey, who you got winning this match?
First of all, this like the collective group is like it's weird to me. You know what I mean? It's like and that like to me it's just like so much, which I guess is good because for so often we've always talked about how Crown Jewel card has such a lack of representation of women across the
Right.
board. So it's good to see that we're getting. I think what 8 like there's 8 in this match, right? And then there's another women's match that's 10, and then the women that are involved. So at least 12 women are going to be in prominent positions in this on this card overall, which is huge for
Yeah.
WWE and where the location and stuff like that. But getting back to this match, with everyone looking at who's involved, I wouldn't be surprised if they went with Chelsea Green and Piper
Piper.
here. Like I forget I was going back to your other name for a second there, but I caught myself. But I wouldn't be shocked here with that. And the way I could see it happening is if Damage Control and Bianca and Jade are so occupied, maybe outside the ring somewhere, and they get an upper hand on Lash and stuff like that. I could see them taking the pin here and kind of keeping Jade and Damage Control in their storyline going, but getting the belt on Chelsea, who has, all things considered, had an absolute stellar year in the role in the hand that she was dealt. And I
Right.
think maybe this is kind of like her flowers for being such a good team player. I'm talking about going in a dumpster and whatever. I mean, we know it's not actual trash, but that was some vile looking shit she had on her,
Yeah.
regardless of what it is. So maybe this is her flowers of finally getting, applauded for what she's done over the past year.
Yeah, nah, I agree. I actually like Piper Niven and Chelsea to come out with the win in this match. Now, it would definitely start some some issues between both Bianca and Jade, because this would be the second time that they would lose the titles overseas. So it's like, all right, like seem like whenever we leave the country, we lose our titles. Then at the end of the day, we might have that holdover with them continuing to have their feud with Damage Control. But with Royal Rumble around the corner, this could potentially plant those seeds, like Chris was saying, as far as leading up to the Rumble, which could then sprinkle in the friction to really escalate, because one could successfully win and the other will lose, and then maybe that could then stir up the potential WrestleMania match. We bookers here on the Steel Steps, but no, I do think, I feel like between Piper and Chelsea, like they've been really great on WWE programming over the last couple of, I'm gonna say couple of months, over the last few months. And I think, what they've been displaying outside of the ring as well as inside of the ring, they do deserve the WWE women's tag titles. So I'm gonna go with Chelsea and Piper Niven becoming the new WWE women's tag team champions. So next up we have the United States match, triple threat match, excuse me, with LA Knight defending the United States Championship against Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. Um, I know. I was just saying how this is going to be like the microscope on LA Knight, just to see whether or not if he's the right choice to move on with the United States Championship going into 2025. I actually think he might lose tomorrow. I think this one could actually go to Carmelo Hayes, man. Me personally, I just love what he's been doing since he's come up to the main roster. The matches that he's had with Andrade have been stellar. To the point we done had 7 matches, which was rudely interrupted by LA Knight's presence being a special guest referee. We could talk about that, at another time. But I just think, where the company is, and with them bringing up the talent like such as Carmelo Hayes, like you can't have these individuals like sit in the back for too long, because then you sit in the back too long as a mid carder, you're gonna get lost in the sauce. So I think Andrade is one who can hold his own and and remain noticeable for the most part. But I think it might be time to put the strap on Carmelo, to see how well he can run with it. So I'm going with Melo win the United States Championship at Crown Jewel. Joey, who you got?
I think LA Knight holds on here. I do think this is going to be a match that truly tests LA Knight's in-ring capacity. We often hear about how he might not be the most polished in-ring compared to other stars that are at the stage where he was at one point. Definitely lost a lot of steam from even the Rumble till now. But I think that's again because, I'm not trying to talk crap, but oftentimes WWE hates when wrestlers get over organically on their own.
Yeah.
When it's not them doing it. LA Knight did that, got over on his own, and was able to get over in spite of what WWE put in front of him. We've seen it with Zack Ryder when he was here and stuff. So I just think that's where he's at now. This is where WWE wanted him to be originally, and the fans kind of took him other places. So I think he wins here again. I think maybe what happens here is Hayes and Andrade kind of start a storyline or continue their storyline away from the title. Because I think them two in the ring together feed off each other great. And I think that they should be able to have a mid-card feud without the belt being involved, because them two in the ring is magic.
Hold on, wait. Before I let you go, Chris, see, I partly disagree. And while I'm in favor with Melo, because I feel like since that match 7 was rudely interrupted by LA Knight, and I stand by that. I think with Melo having that title, it kind of opens up for that feud to go even further than the match 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you put that on Melo, you can actually get a match 8, since match 7, I mean, ended in a no contest, so to speak. But I see what you're saying, but I think, as far as Melo possibly getting it, I think it would make even more sense for him to get it,
Yeah.
so that they could extend the Andrade feud. But Chris, go
See,
ahead. Go
real
ahead.
quick, real quick.
Yeah.
If this is gonna sound weird saying this, but this was in America and this was an American show, I think the logical thing is to put the belt on Hayes here. But we know LA Knight is a draw, and we know that Saudi loves LA Knight from we've seen it from past shows. And I just think a lot of times we often say is the booking that's done in Saudi does not typically match what should transpire had the show been a normal, wrestling show here, if that makes sense, if I'm making sense what I'm saying here. Kind of like what happens in Saudi stays in Saudi. And I think that's what's going to transpire here is like the right choice is Carmelo to kind of further his career and kind of etch him in that he belongs here and stuff. I just think because of where it is, they try to make the crowd happy and keep it on the LA Night.
Nah, that make good point. That's a very good point. Chris, who you got?
I got LA Knight, man. I don't know which name. I'm actually going to echo everything Joey just said. I think what's going to happen is Andrade and Carmelo is just going to get wrapped up in their own stuff because they're still insanely competitive with each other and think they're better and going to try to run up each other. So, and I think LA Knight's going to take advantage of that, like, kind of step in and take advantage of somebody doing some type of special move, whether it's their special move or just a powerful move, and he'll come in, hit him with his finisher, and that's going to be a match, or do one that devastating roll up, that nobody can kick out of. What's his name? So it's going to be one of those. But so as far as LA Knight though, like as far as we was talking about this last week too, is like we feel like his stock is dropping a little bit because we just feel like he's not producing the level of matches that we think a champion should be, especially someone that's that over. What's his name? He doesn't have to be the wrestler on the capacity of a Carmelo and Andrade. He's never going to be that, especially not this stage of his career. Like, he is who he is. But if he could just put on entertaining matches, that's the thing that will see if he can flourish him to the next level. Because when Stone Cold was Stone Cold, he wasn't Stunny Steve anymore as far as in-ring ability. He dumbed it down a lot because he couldn't do so much. So he only had like 5 moves he went to every match, for real, for real. It was a bunch of punches, kicks, a Luthez press, and then a stunner. You know what I mean? So that was, but he popped every time for it because he did it in a way to keep it entertaining. LA Knight got to find his niche to where his matches don't have to be 5-star classics, but have to be entertaining. So he has to do stuff to where he just keeps the people a little more engaged past the character. Like The Rock did that very well. Rock did well, just enough with his moveset to where and Rock sold very well too, to where the matches were entertaining. Like it's never going to be Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart or Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, but it was going to be entertaining because he just knew how to do just enough. If LA Knight does a little bit more to create some type of entertainment value to these matches, then yeah, he can make this U.S. title like something special. Because right now, he's just a popular guy with a belt, to be honest. But he's not. We're not looking at him like, yeah, he's. A year ago, we were saying he's future or next world champion. We're not saying that anymore. At least I'm not. I can't speak for everybody, but right now, I don't see him as top 3 guys to be a world champion. So it's like this is a match that's going to see what's going to happen for him next, and we'll see it very soon. Like, people might not judge it in Saudi, but over here we're going to be judging. So like, I'm still picking him to win. Like, I think Carmelo and Andrade going to get caught up in any nonsense. LA will take advantage and retain his title, and then I guess the quality of the match, we'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. Quick question on the both of you. As of this date, you're penciling in the final 4 of the Rumble right now. Is LA Knight part of the final 4?
Mm, uh, hmm.
At this point, no.
Probably not for me. Yeah, honestly, not for me.
Okay. Just
Yeah,
had to ask. We'll circle back on that.
yeah. Last year, absolutely. Well, would it be a question? But this year, not really.
Interesting. All right.
Mm.
So two for LA Knight, one for me going with Mello. Next up we have you know, the best friends. Well, former friends now, about to go to blows as Randy Orton battles Kevin Owens. This is I was actually a little bit torn on this one. I I think I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens only because I think they're going to continue with the momentum of building him to eventually face Cody with everything that's been going on, the way they've been building him up with Triple H supposedly protecting Randy Orton from him and telling him he don't wish the damage he's about to experience with getting in the ring with Kevin Owens. So I think that I'm gonna go with KO picking up the victory tomorrow at Crown Jewel. Chris, who you got?
Yeah, I got Kevin Owens. I think use the momentum like this. This has actually been a kind of an intriguing storyline. At first, I thought I wasn't going to be into it too much, to be honest. But
Yeah,
Kevin Owens does such a good time, and Randy Orton too. I'm gonna give Randy Orton's credit. It's almost a shoot style uh, matchup to where it's like they're trying to keep some realism to it, to where that way people is like don't think it's too predictable, which I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's shoot, but it's kayfabe, but it's shoot style to it, which I like.
right.
And yeah, keep the momentum going with Kevin right now. Kevin Owens is he's just good, man. Just like he plays this a-hole, but like angry guy who just like is like he does it so well. He does it so well. This is my favorite Kevin Owens. He's cool as a baby face, but man, he's some people just flourish and just do so well being heels, and he's one of them. Coincidentally, going against a guy who I think is a way better heel than the babyface, also Randy Orton. So it's funny to see this matchup, but two guys who are better heels than baby faces. But this match is gonna be intriguing, but I think KO is gonna win. That way, yeah, he can continue the storyline with Cody. So I'm gonna go KO with W.
Joey, your thoughts?
Um, I don't know. Is KO signed yet? Long term?
It's a good question. I don't know. Like the reports on that like went under the rug quickly.
If he hasn't, I could see Randy. I could see one of two things happening. One, Randy wins clean here, and kind of the burying of KO happens until he does sign, or in the off chance he doesn't sign, he leaves looking weak, kind of like Moxley did when he left with his storyline and stuff. I could also see a double switch here. Randy kind of KO wins. Randy kind of gets pushed and pushed and pushed because he can't seem to get over the hump with KO, and they kind of do a role reverse here, and we get like the Psycho Randy back, and KO's kind of like, yo, dude, relax, you know what I mean? And like, we kind of get that role reversal here. But I think it all depends upon the contract situation of KO. If he's signed, I think KO wins. If he's not signed, I think Randy wins.
You make an interesting point with that because if KO doesn't resign and Orton does go over, I don't know if y'all caught this moment during tonight's SmackDown when Orton was talking with Cody in the back, and there was a spot where Cody was reaching over to get something, and Orton started, eyeing the title. So it was like, he's still keeping his eye on the title, but he's doing what he, still being a friend of Cody. So it's like they're like planting those seeds, so that they can circle back on that as sometime in the near future. But that's actually a good thought though. If Owen isn't signed, Psycho Randy does return.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that may happen down the line anyway, because him and Cody has to happen. The storyline with them two, legacy. Just and plus Cody's gonna need more storylines leading up to Mania. So it's like drag the thing out a little bit with Owens. Then you could do Randy Orton next, and then hopefully that can lead into something with going 2025 with possibly The Rock.
Like if they do make the Orton turn, like how, like when would they roll it out? Like
It would have to be sometime. I would think sometimes that like right after Survivor Series or during, maybe at the Survivor Series. It would have to be that something that would end the year going into the top of the year. Like he was still have to face Randy at like Royal Rumble. But now, because especially now Royal Rumble's gonna be in February, so that makes a lot of sense.
It gives it a little time to develop the storyline.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't have to rush it.
Got you. So I had KO. Who's you at, Joey? You had KO too, or Orton?
I think KO.
They got KO. And Chris, who you got?
I said KO.
Oh, KO. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I can't remember. Sorry, went that too fast. So, all right. Next up, we got Seth freaking Rollins going head to head against Big Bronson Reed. Well, I guess he's just now Big Bronson. According to the new title. So,
I hate when they do that. I like Bronson Reed.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like it flows. Big Bronson Reed. Like not just Big Bronson. Like okay.
They're doing that because of Action Bronson. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Chris, who you got winning this match?
Shit. I actually got Bronson Reed. Big Bronson. He can. There's a couple of things with this. He can, number one, this would benefit him way more if he won. This is the most involved people been with his character ever since he came to the main roster.
Right.
Because he's a guy, when he came up from NXT and he came to the main roster, I used to give him shit because he got no response ever when he used to come out and into like come down the ramp and his music would hit. People didn't care about him so much. They didn't even boo him. They just looked at him like, oh, here come this guy. And he just got like no anything from the crowd. And I was like, oh, this is not going well. Triple H, he's one of Triple H's guys. So Triple H went to his other main guy, say, look, help put this guy over. And he did. And his honestly is going well. I'm actually into this feud. They going at it. Seth Rollins is getting more of a aggressive, and he's not all animated and that shit. He's just freaking, they're fighting, which is good. And so I think I think Bronson Reed's gonna win, but I don't think it's gonna be a one and done. I think he's gonna win, and then they're gonna have another match. So I think it's gonna be like a rubber match type thing, to be honest. But as far as tomorrow, I think this is gonna be like, I won't say a coming out party, but definitely a match that elevates Bronson a little bit more to where he's now taking even more serious.
Yeah, I agree with you. I got Big Bronson as well. I think this is going to be the put over type match that we're going to see on Saturday. One thing I do like about the development of this feud between the two, there wasn't a lot of talking going on between the two. Like it's been like nonstop action, but when there was talking, it was when both were speaking with Adam Pearce to get the match going. So it was, it wasn't a lot of back and forth dialogue between the two. Just straight up fight. We're gonna fight, and now we got an actual match going down at Crown Jewel tomorrow. So definitely going to be a big fight between the two. But I do got Big Bronson coming out with the victory, leaving Saudi. So, Joey, who you got closing out?
Yeah. Again, I think this again goes back to you can't overlook where this show is taking place. Weird shit going on with Seth and Crown Rule in Saudi Arabia, like beating the Fiend with a sledgehammer, and like weirdest shit in the world ever. I just think Crown Jewel is a pay-per-view where They want to send the fans home happy. You know, I think that's the biggest thing they try to do here is, you know, I mean, we've seen shit. We've seen Brother of Destruction versus DX when neither any of the four had any business being in the ring in the current stage of their career.
Ooh,
So
terrible match.
yeah,
Horrible match.
So I just think again, if this was in the States, this was anywhere else, Bronson gets the win here. But I just think because of where it's at, who it's for, and stuff like that, I think Seth Rollins comes out on top here.
So you got all the baby faces winning tomorrow.
Well, not even baby faces, but like the biggest stars.
Yeah,
No, I know
we're
what
talking
you
about
mean.
we're talking about a location where they asked for Yokozuna like 3 years ago. Like this is where they're at right now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And that to Joey's comment, that is somewhat true. Because over there, people who's funding the bill, they are having a lot of say on not so much creative of who's winning, but of what they would like to see. Because that's their country; those are their people. They're like, yeah, we want this person to
I'm coming for that title.
And
Sorry.
okay, so I can see that. But matches like this, like I said, I think Seth was get the big pop, the big reaction. But Hill's gonna win some of these matches. So, and if there is one, you could go with this one. Worst crazy thing, like Goldberg beat the Fiend, and even though Goldberg was a baby face, nobody wanted to see that shit.
Right. I look at it like this. Like I totally understand what you were saying, Joey. But if I'm Trips, I'm like, man, fuck that. Big Bronson going over, damn it. Like, and at the end of the day, the fans still going to chant. Like,
and then you're gonna get left on the tarmac again.
Like, look, the fans gonna still do the Rollins chant. Oh,
That's fine, but this is Saudi Arabia. They control everything. You're getting left on the tarmac if they're not happy with your booking.
that'd be messed up. Seth can't get a flight back.
I mean, we've seen it. We've seen shit go sideways in Saudi Arabia before. And these guys were stranded for 3 hours on the airplane. Like we've seen this before. We've seen wild things happen. And I just think, like, again, this is the first story. This is the first card where storyline has mattered, and it's not. These aren't just matches that are thrown together a month before to fit the Crown Jewel storyline.
Right.
Like, these are storylines that have been going on that they've made big deal
Yeah.
for Crown Jewel, where in years past, like, they would just throw it together 3 weeks before and say, well, it's Crown Jewel. And then they come back from Crown Jewel and nothing that happened at Crown Jewel mattered. This is different, but I still think the bookings of the matches will fit that. Well, what happens in Crown Jewel kind of stays in Crown Jewel thing.
I got you. So 2 for Big Bronson, one for Seth. Next up, we have the first ever Crown Jewel champion versus champion going down with WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax facing Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. The winner of this match again becomes the first ever Crown Jewel champion. And Joey, I'm gonna go with you first on this one. Who you got?
I got Tiffany Stratton. I think I don't know. I just think the press conference today. I don't even know if she's there because I didn't see her and stuff like that. But the press conference there. No, she is there. Okay. Yeah. Press conference today, and like from what I saw, there was just too much talk centered around her. It almost felt like they were like kind of like nudging the Saudi fans who maybe don't watch the women as much. Like, hey, pay attention to this. This might be important tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like a teacher at a pop quiz. It's like, this will be on the test. Wink, wink. You know what I mean? Something like that type of thing.
Right.
So I just think it makes perfect sense here. With what happened last week on NXT with Liv, and now they're saying that Rhea might be actually injured. I don't know what's true there and stuff. I just think now's the perfect time, and I don't even think it's Nia's belt. I think it might be Liv's belt they end up taking it off her.
Interesting.
But I think Tiffy cashes in and wins.
So wait, let me get this straight. So you got Tiffy cashing in on Liv's belt to face Nia in this match.
No, I think Nia wins. Okay, let me fix it. Nia wins the match against Liv, and then after the match, Nia takes out Raquel, and then Tiffy comes out and cashes in on Liv.
Hmm.
So I think what's gonna happen is she's gonna come out, and at first, like Nia might try to look like she's gonna like attack Tiffy,
Right.
and then Nia kind of like moves her hands and like go for it, you know what I mean, type of thing, and she wins that way.
Gotcha.
I think now's the time. I think the fans want it. I think both of these title runs have run its course. You know, both of them at this point. It's becoming a little stale, I think.
We need an update on those briefcase. Did they move the shipping up on them yet?
Let's see.
we need an update on the Tiffy time briefcase because I think that's still going to determine whether or not she cashes in. But why you check that out, Chris? Who you got?
What's his name? So, as far as the match, I'm definitely going with Nia. What's his name? I just name she's. There's no way in hell she should lose this match. What's his name? What's his name? Far as what Joey was saying, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Like Nia wins, she gets the pomp of circumstance, but between that, she like I said takes out Raquel, takes out Dom. Tiffany comes down. She, Nia looks at her, and she's like, what are you doing? But then she's like, I'm going to cash in on her, and she's like, go ahead. And then you have Nia sitting there with her title, the big gaudy Saudi title. Listen, you got Tiffy with the world title, and now the two best friends have all the championships, and they're happy because what Joy was saying about Rhea being hurt, I was looking this up earlier. It is true. She is legit hurt. That's why they had that segment with Rhea and Liv taking her out on NXT in the parking lot because she's legit. It's something in her face. I don't know what it is, but I don't know, something with her jaw or nose. It's something where she's going to need time off. And so without Rhea on that show to be the antagonist for Liv and Dominic, there's legit nobody else on Raw that anybody would give a shit about to where the face Liv. So something has to happen with Tiffany, like to get some type of, shock and awe and like intrigue in that title. Cause I don't care what you say, how nobody gives a shit about Liv Morgan in that title. They just don't. This title run of hers has been ass. Only thing people care about is Rhea. Honestly, not even Rhea and Liv. People just want to see Rhea get Dom. The come all be all of this whole thing was Rhea getting Dom. Wasn't even about the title no more. It was just crazy like this. So if Rhea's gone, there's nobody to try to beat up Dom. There's nobody trying to get Liv and so Tiffany to cash in tomorrow will make all the sense in the world. Nia is going to win. It's weird because she's going to win, and from what I hear, they don't even get to take the belt. The belt stays, and they give them a ring, like a Super Bowl ring. I'm like, why even show the belt? Like, what is this? This is so weird. Like, this is so weird. Like, you show these big, gaudy, beautiful belts to be like, this is yours. You just can't take it with you.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And here's another thing too. What you're talking about, like stale, and there's not really much left options for her and stuff. God is dying up there.
Because he thought I was gonna go left and nah.
But
it would make good TV.
It would have. It would have.
But I mean, I know we haven't seen it from her, but I am I out of line here to say that with Tiffy's look and stuff like that, and with little girls and like Barbie being back in style and stuff, I think Tiffy could work as a face.
She should work as a face.
She could.
I think she'd work as a face, and I think she'd be like a huge merchandise seller if she was a face.
Yeah, she's basically a face working heel, and we've seen that before plenty of times in wrestling because she's so over with the fans. That was her character in NXT.
Yeah,
she was the bratty, pompous heel, but up here, up here, the main roster, people loved her. People love her, so she's a face working heel.
Real quick, wasn't she a gymnast? Like prior
Yes.
to her WWE run?
She was actually signed right out of college as a gymnast.
Yeah,
she never wrestled a day in her life before.
She had no wrestling experience.
Honestly, it makes 1,000% sense to like go on that now, especially coming off the heels of the Olympics. How popular the gymnastics team, you know what I mean, is and still is, you know what I mean, even post Olympics. Like you can run with that like easily.
I think she's like, it's weird to say, but like I look at Alexa Bliss and her path and stuff. I see Tiffy kind of following that same path where they brought her up as a heel, but she organically got so over as a heel that WWE was left with no choice but to eventually turn her face because the fans loved her so much. It happens naturally. That's fine. I just think Tiffy as a face does huge numbers. I think
she got to thank Nia for that though, because Nia being, like the bigger person out of the two, a little bit more on the bully side of things, and like was trying to convince her to to go for the other title, and not her title. So it's like at some point it leaves that mystery whether or not if she may still go for Nia's title. But again, with the events with Rhea taking place, it does make good sense to go after the title that Liv has. I think where Liv is now with the Judgment Day, I think she would be rather comfortable without having a title. And plus, again, with Rhea being out, that kind of like shelves their storyline for whenever Rhea returns. So I think it probably would be best that Tiffy does in fact cash in. Does it have to be at Crown Jewel? I mean, we still got Survivor Series around the corner too. Like might want to save some of that mojo for that premium live event.
Yeah, I noticed for some reason WWE loves the one title they love to change hands on them Saudi shows is a woman's title.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, but and you mentioned Survivor Series and
I got Nia winning, by the way, too. So
I think we get Survivor Series. I think we get 2 War Games matches. I think we get NXT War Games and a.
Oh shit, we got a Twitch comment coming in.
Yeah, I seen that.
Cody Burris, who you got winning Crown Jewel Championship first ever? Yeah, we just started talking about it, Cody. We're going through our predictions now. I said Nia. Joey said.
I think we all said Nia.
We all said Nia.
Yeah, we all got Nia.
Yeah, but I think because if I'm not mistaken,
men's match still to come.
NXT doesn't do a War Games, right?
They did before in the past. Because remember,
it wasn't the same weekend and stuff, right? It was like they do a War Games, like a standalone War Games match.
I don't think they're going to be doing one now that it's like highlighted under Survivor Series. I don't think NXT is going to do.
Yeah, so I think the women's match that's going to be happening Wednesday will happen in War Games also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I thought that, but I don't know if it will. I think it's going to be more so of the Bloodline. Their situation.
I think there's 2. I think there's gonna be 2.
I think it's gonna be Judgment Day and probably like R-Truth and like I don't know.
I don't think so. They always do because look, they always do a women's. Now anyway, they do a women's War Games. They do a men's War Games.
Right.
So they don't have enough issue on the main roster for a women's War Games. Nothing intriguing anyway.
NXT unless it starts.
I hear.
Sorry guys. Unless it starts tomorrow.
I don't know.
You got 8 women in a match.
Yeah, but I would put the NXT. I would feature the NXT women. Their division is fire right now.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree that it should be that. But I think it could if they're going to say, well, no, NXT is NXT and it's the main roster, the main roster. I could see them going the route of the 8 women in the match tomorrow.
I just said that because NXT is kind of already previewing it after the show this week. it's kind of like, okay, so it's gonna be these 5 versus those 5. It's kind of like
I don't see them running it back to back at War Games. Like I think what's going to be done at the arena, it's probably going to take up for War Games, since it's going to be at the ECW arena. So it's almost like you get your Extreme Rules done there versus being done at the War Games event.
right.
Yeah. So, but
Right.
yeah. So we all
As
got.
long as they have Regal announce it, I'm happy.
We got War Games.
War Games.
Right. So next up, we got the men's first ever Crown Jewel Championship with undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes going up against World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. And I'm actually going with Gunther in this, man. I feel like Gunther deserved it as being one of the best wrestlers of the year. Being very, very technical, and honestly, probably like one of my favorite wrestlers of the year, quite frankly. So, although it probably will be Cody to win this, but my prediction is definitely Gunther. I'm rolling with Gunther. I don't care.
I'm about to say, bro, who you fooling, bro? Who you fooling, bro?
So this match, to me, it's like it's so intriguing because, like, obviously we constantly say on this show, the journey to the belt for Cody was way more entertaining than the actual title itself. And I think that's a lot to do with booking. We know he wasn't losing the belt to Solo. We knew he wasn't losing the belt to AJ.
Yeah.
We knew he wasn't losing the belt to anyone else that he's fought. Well, the belt's not on the line here, and I feel like this is the first time since he's beat Roman at Mania where you're like, well, I don't know where this is going. And that's what intrigues me. It's because, like, you don't know if Cody's going to win. It's not a slam dunk.
I do got a little bit of a theory that could happen. Is it possible
don't say, because that's exactly what's going to happen. And I don't steal my thing. Cody Rhodes win because Goldberg helps Cody Rhodes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to go there.
Remember Bad Blood?
Right.
Don't forget Bad Blood.
I was actually going to go. I was actually going way left. I was going with KO. KO helping Gunther win.
That's possible, but I think
by screwing Cody. Pause.
Clearly we know. Clearly we know that the Saudi Prince loves Goldberg. We've seen him way too much on Saudi shows. I don't think they do that spot. I mean, I know I get it. Bad Blood was in Georgia, and that's Goldberg's backyard and stuff like that. But I think that was done as like a remembering situation for further down the line. I think is Imperium even still a thing? Like, they still call themselves Imperium?
Yeah, they
know it's the two of them now.
They fought tonight. They still go by Imperium.
Do they
really?
Yeah.
So I think Imperium maybe helps him in some way, and then Goldberg comes out and clears the house, and Cody wins.
Interesting. That's a good take on it. That would be wild if it happens. If it happens, though, I don't know. I just gotta give you props.
I just think about why? Because that was such a. I mean, again, I get it, Atlanta, Georgia, and stuff like that, but it was so odd to have him jump the guardrail and get in his face, and like when fans question it, like Triple H didn't shoot down, he just says never say never, type of thing. Like, to me, that just like they don't do things for no reason,
Right.
And so I think this might be the callback.
I mean, that was probably one where they were looking to read the room to see, like, do we really got something here? And like, I mean, there's something there, but I don't know if it's going to happen at Crown Jewel, though.
I'll say this: I think Gunther is a good enough wrestler that he can carry Goldberg to a great match.
You're gonna have to carry him.
Well, I mean, you're gonna get out of Goldberg, but I think Gunther can bring out a good match in Goldberg, even at this stage of his career.
I hope, man. If it happens, I hope so. Sorry, like Goldberg. I'm sorry, Goldberg irks my soul, man. I can like stop, just fucking stop. Like this, you got a legacy that's gonna live forever. Like, I get it. but like just stop. Like, dude,
You know who
stop.
you sound like? You sound like my girl Haven Rain that I follow on social media. She can't stand Goldberg.
I'm
Like
not. I'm
she
sorry.
she
I like.
she
I was.
despised that dude. Shout out to
See,
Haven Rain. She be having some
I
good
was. I
good
was
ass
into.
takes on pro wrestling.
Yeah, I was into him a little bit in the '90s, but then after a while, I was like, all right, I'm over this shit. Like, it's just like, I'm sorry, like, I
That's
just
kind of
was.
how I feel like Undertaker the past couple weeks.
Yeah. About what?
I know what you mean.
T Batista.
Oh, you
Yeah.
funny. What's
Nah,
name?
so
Yeah,
so who you got
I walk miles
you going with Cody, Joey?
Yeah.
All right, Chris, who you got? Close us out.
I got Cody because on what Joey said earlier, of sending the crowd home happy. Like Cody is the epitome of babyface. This generation of WWE. I'm sure the Saudi people absolutely love him. They're going to send the people home happy, and you got to send them home happy with the biggest star they have. That's not Roman Reigns, and that's Cody. So you got to send the crowd happy with him.
See
As
what
far
you
as the
done
single,
started, Joey?
as far as the singles matches, he's going to. Like I said, this was the match I was most intrigued by because I want to know what's the what's going to be the implication of fallout of this. This is
Right.
supposed to be to set the narrative of whoever wins this is the number one champion, pretty much. But even though Gunther is the better wrestler, he's still the B champion. That's the reality. Cody's the number one guy. That's the number one title.
You call my
Like
Gunther a B champion.
like this. You already know he is. I don't care. He is. You know Gunther is my guy. I love him to death. But this is the B championship. What intrigue is with that title right now? Like it's none. Like be real, it's none. So any match Cody's had, even if the storyline isn't good that great, it's still intriguing as hell because he is the champion because that's the title that matters the most. So that becomes more intriguing. So if Gunther wins this, does that make like like that championship more intriguing? Does it bring the value of that title up to be like, yeah, everybody needs to pay more attention to this championship now? Like, don't get me wrong, when CM Punk comes back and stuff like that, yeah, that's going to create more intrigue with this championship. But right now, there's no intrigue right now because Drew's gone, CM Punk's gone. So until I guess those guys come back in the mix and fold, maybe that'll create a lot more intrigue. But once again, it's weird that they're going to win this belt that they don't get to take with them. And it's like,
Wait, so they carried it over here, you know what I mean, to the US, but the belt gotta stay over in Saudi
Yeah.
yeah,
when they
yeah,
leave. Like,
yes, the belt is going to stay in their WWE Vault headquarters in Saudi, whatever, so people could visit and see it.
that's some bullshit.
And they said they're gonna do this every year. So if these guys are the champion next year, they're gonna fight for this shit again, and collect rings like Thanos and shit. Because like it's weird. So like but when the oil guys are fitting the bill, you ain't gonna say no. So what's name? So it is what it is. But Cody's gonna win. You want that crowd happy as possible. And but like I said, I don't. But like I said, if Gunther loses, it's not going to take anything away from him. So I'm saying. So I'm like, that's what I'm saying. It's a weird thing because if he loses, it's not going to take anything away. If he wins, it doesn't really add value to his championship. So that's why I'm like, it's kind of weird to me for what they put in this as. This is the true champion wins. The overall number one guy is like, okay, I guess.
Whoa. Hey, Cody Burrs, if you still in here, who you got winning between Cody Rhodes and Gunther? Just out of curiosity.
That's
He
it.
he did have a question. He asked if is Zayn going to join the new Bloodline tomorrow night. I'm glad you
No.
brought that up because we were going to talk about that before we get to the actual main event. So, what transpired on Monday Night Raw? We did have one Sami Zayn meet up with Jey Uso. Pretty much talking to him like, listen, man, like you come a long way from walking away from the original Bloodline, and it's just like trying to convince him not to go backwards. And Jey Uso pretty much told him like, listen, man, like that's family, and like you're not my family. Left Sammy with the Saudi face right there, like so.
Like you thought, bitch.
Yeah, right. So Jimmy said, he was gonna have a talk with Sammy, but turns out Sammy was having a conversation with Solo. Like, what the deal, Sammy? Like, what's going on here? So, fast forward to tomorrow, we got the 6-man tag match featuring Roman Reigns and the Usos going up against the Bloodline. Now, did they actually say which 3 members of the Bloodline is going to be fighting? I'm assuming it's going to be Tama, Tonga, and Solo.
Yeah, because I don't know if Jacob can make the flight.
See, that's what I thought, but then they had him listed in the picture. So
They got him in the picture, but I think it's just for promotional purposes because sometimes they be what they call pump faking, as we like to say.
Yeah.
So I don't. So because it's just thing, can Jacob? If Jacob can make the flight, they want him in the match. But the thing about it is he allowed to? And if he's not allowed to, then they're definitely going with the other 3.
Yeah, but let me ask you this then, before anyone moves further. Does the match even matter if Fatu's not in the match? And what I mean by that is, do you even think that the Bloodline has any legitimate shot to beat the Usos and Roman Reigns if it's the Guerrillas of Destiny and Solo? But I think their chances of winning are a whole hell of a lot better. And again, I'm saying winning, and obviously we know everything is determined. But from a fan standpoint here, are we even believing in a shot in the hell if it's not Fatu in the match, some way or another?
Right. That's a good thought. Good question, actually. I don't know. That's actually a good question. Honestly, I'm actually going with the Bloodline to win.
The original, or
Haha, trick question.
let us say original. I was say which one.
I'm gonna go with the new Bloodline. Because I think whatever happens here is going to carry over to Survivor Series War Games anyway.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say I think the New Blood's gonna win, but the more likely they're gonna cheat, which they have to. It'll like the OTC original Blood guy, not the OTC, the original Blood guy. They'll get pissed and don't want it to end that way, and then they'll carry it over to War Games, where it could be the 404 because Sammy will join eventually, and that'd be it. I hope Jacob can make it, man, because Jacob, like I say, he's the X factor in this. He's the enforcer. He's the true MVP of the new Bloodline. Let's be real. And if he was if he was in the match, he the one that definitely should to beat whoever. Like honestly, I would love that if you pin Roman Reigns, because that would make it way more intriguing. Because if he just beats Jimmy or something, like it's like, all right. It's like all right, we knew Jimmy's gonna take that pinfall. Like, no, let Roman take that pinfall. Are they gonna let Roman take the pinfall his first match back after all this time? Probably not. But what's his name? But it'd be cool as hell if he did take that pin.
I think he does take the pin, but I think it's because we get the last member of Solo's group, whoever that may be. I think there's one more guy that still hasn't joined yet.
It's that gigantic bastard from New Japan.
Or it's Lance.
Yeah, Lance been MIA lately.
It could be.
Been
It
pulled
could be
of all
Lance.
bookings and stuff like that.
It could be Lance.
I think we get a 5-on-5.
So let me ask you then, who's more known? Is Lance more known than the giant bastard that's related to them? Is because you would think you want somebody that gives you some type of.
I honestly don't think either are truly known within the WWE.
That's what I'm saying. Because I don't think either guy is
But you can tell within the 5 seconds of looking at them that they're both. Well, here's the thing: Lance is genuinely part of the Bloodline.
Yeah, I know. He looks like a Roman.
But I mean, the brother is the brother of Girl of Destiny, right? They're not technically Bloodline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're Tongan. They're not Samoan.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think whatever. I think they both end up showing up, and then one goes on one team, other goes on the other team, and then Sammy's the last guy. But I wouldn't put it past that one of them show up too.
Yeah, that could happen too. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Cause they want to fit them in there. It's just about how they're going to do it, when they're going to do it. So yeah, tomorrow would be the best time to do it, especially if Jacob can't go. That'd be the perfect time to do it.
I'll say it'll happen just to get the biggest like all shock factor to happen, because a lot of people may not be familiar with them, so it would be more of a shock where it's like, oh my god, like who is this? Like who is this person? But but if it were to happen, in the States, then it'll definitely be a holy shit moment in the arena.
Here's one more thought that I have about this, and I haven't heard anything, but NXT is obviously in Philly on Wednesday, birthplace of ECW. You can't have a show in Philly and not have Heyman on the card in some way.
Right.
At the same time, you can't have Heyman on the card if the last time we saw him was getting slammed through the table. I wouldn't be shocked if this is the match where Heyman reappears in the WWE universe, some way or fashion, setting up for him to be able to show up on Wednesday because he's now back in the WWE again.
That's a good call. That's a very good call. And maybe Heyman be the person that calls on for somebody to join.
He pulls out both
the original bloodline. Yeah.
Call Roman Reigns.
No, that would be dope. But yeah, no, definitely should be a pretty dope card tomorrow. WWE Crown Jewel again, 1 p.m. Eastern, streaming exclusively on Peacock. Pause. But talking about NXT going down on Wednesday, special night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time on the CW. For those local, limited tickets are available now at 2300arena.com. Again, it's 2300arena.com. Get your tickets, because I tell you what, by the end of this weekend, they probably won't be available. But the card that they got developed for Wednesday is shaping up to be pretty nice. I must admit. Going into it. Oh, sorry. Well, might as well run with it. We did have this situation at Halloween Havoc with Rich Holland.
Hey, what's that? what is that? Like unneutral guy. The guy who every week says he's neutral and he's not signed with any company and he's impartial to both sides. What is he doing on WWE TV?
Oh yeah, he's talking about the guy that got a Legends deal.
It's almost like he's actually signed with the company, and he does show favoritism on one side more than the other because they do pay him money.
Yeah.
So
but he does but bust it open after dark.
Yeah, newsflash
on AEW night
to wrestling fans out there. Wrestlers lie a lot.
Yeah, it's just funny because he's always so hard on AEW and everything they do, and he shits on them every chance he gets. But yet he always gives the WWE a pass, and when fans call him out on it, oh, what do you mean? I'm impartial. I don't have a horse in either one of these races. I'm not signed to either one of these companies. Bullshit.
Lies.
Bullshit.
Meanwhile, he popping up everywhere across the sun. Shoot, I'm actually surprised he was at GCW. That was to me, that was a huge shocker.
Cutting them checks, he shows up.
Yeah. But any case, this particular moment, this past Sunday, Ridge Holland, kept interrupting them while they were doing their hits. Fast forward, Trick Williams defeated Ethan Page. Ridge Holland's made another appearance. Both him and Ethan, squared up, but then they said, you know what, let's take out Trick, which they proceeded to do. Nobody was coming out to help Trick. So out of nowhere, who came to make the save?
The young upstart.
The young upstart.
The young upstart. Bubba Ray.
Bully Ray.
Yeah.
Bubba Ray dressed like Paulie Dangerous.
Yeah, he came out, made the save, helped Trick out, which was pretty cool closing out the show. Fast forward to Tuesday, Bully came out, talked to Trick, explained to him how nobody came out to help him, and that's because he's holding on to that NXT title. He told him to keep eyes behind his head. Trick told him he will, and he offered him the opportunity to be his tag team partner, to face Ethan and Ridge at NXT in Philly. And Bully, he said he got goosebumps, he got hype, but he said this was his fight for another talent. Fast forward, Ridge and Ethan was in the ring. Bully decided to come out again, and he ended up getting his ass kicked by both Ethan and Ridge. And then out of nowhere, Mr. Trick Williams came out and made the save. And this time, he helped out Bully. They, squared up against both Ethan and Ridge. And by the end of this scrap, Bully got the mic and said, "Hey, Trick, you still need a tag team partner?" So therefore, he's going to be wrestling at the 2300 Arena next Wednesday, battling both Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. I was going to say, gentlemen, your thoughts on that, but I think we all know how everybody feels about the unbiased Bubba Ray, who don't portrayed himself to be one-sided with things and don't work for the WWE. Just come out at times and just so happen to just be at the right place at the right time to collect WWE checks. So
Man, shout out to Bubba Ray for finally getting his chance, man. Like he's been put in the work all these years. He never got his opportunity. So I'm glad he finally, throwing all his cards on the table, and WWE finally gave him the shot they never gave him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, shout out to you, Bubba. I feel like, you put in all the work at the 2300 Arena all them years ago. I've like, it almost feel like, you signed with WWE before in the past, but I could be wrong about that. I gotta do my research. What's his name? But man, shout out to you. Coincidentally, I think there's a producer you used to tag with that works for WWE too. I could be wrong. Oh yeah, he does. So both of you work for WWE still. Okay, never mind. Forget everything I just said. Bubba Ray, listen, get your checks, man. We know what's up.
Lesson learned tonight. Bully Ray ain't never coming on the steel steps.
Yeah.
Hey, like, those guys, man, fuck those guys.
We from Philly. You should be used to this shit by now, Bubba. Like for real. Trying to hear that. You don't heard worse.
Bubba ain't never coming on here.
You don't heard worse from Philly. We don't sugarcoat nothing.
He gonna be like those guys that was shitting on me.
Who the fuck is these guys?
Let's get out of here. But anyway, I'm not going. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. But we all know we got the 10 women tag match coming up next Wednesday. This is actually going to be a pretty dope match. Like I'm looking forward to seeing it. We got a hardcore match. To me, this is also probably gonna be like the favorite match of the night for me. I might mess around, being in attendance. I might mess around, wear a suit, and probably bring some flowers for both Jada Parker and Lola Vice, and try to play mediator. Like, listen, why can't we all just be together? They're gonna be like, yo, get them out of here.
They would happily kick you out.
Yeah, right. I do got one violation with this because the special guest ref is Dawn Marie, and for someone who grew up with ECW, Dawn Marie was always like that one prissy lady that she wasn't like
hardcore
as hardcore, during her time in ECW. So it kind of doesn't fit with her being a special guest referee for this particular match. But that's just my opinion on that. But looking forward to it though. Jada been talking that shit about Lola and she's ready for this match. And then again we got the tag team match between Bubba Ray, Trick Williams going up against Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. So definitely going to be some good stuff. This past week on NXT, Rob Van Dam was there in the back, so apparently he's
Could have got him.
going
Could have
to be
got him.
making an appearance at this NXT event in Philly. So that's something that's gonna be good going on. But
That would make more sense.
yeah, with RVD, I don't know RVD like, and it would have, but I think he gonna be doing something with what's the kid name Wesley and it was Javon.
Uh,
Yeah, I think something's going to go on between the two of them. So I don't know if he's going to be in the match, but he said he had something lined up, for them, next week. So, but yeah, so anybody go to the event, definitely have a good time, and we'll see what's popping off. So, all right, so before we jump into the fourth rope event that's going down in Chicago. Real quick hit on AEW Dynamite, which was a pretty good show this past Wednesday. Not going to dive into every single match from the event, but I do want to shout out Orange Cassidy. He had a pretty good pretty good promo to start the show. Talking about Moxley and calling him out for a fight, which is now going to go down at Full Gear. So I want to shout out the momentum that they got going on with Orange Cassidy. Any thoughts on Mr. Cassidy from anyone as far as him being the next up contender for the AEW heavyweight title?
It seems like every step they go, they're trying to take like everything from Cassidy. That's to me seems like what the entire Moxley group is doing right now. I think it's paying off.
Yeah, especially the beat downs to like literally every member of the what they call it, the conglomerate. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like beating them down, like just shit. They beating everybody up nowadays. And the Young Bucks, they just just roll. They were like, yeah, let me get out of here. Like I don't want no parts of this. So, Chris, any thoughts on Orange Cassidy?
Not really.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on. Shout out to Private Party for defeating the Young Bucks to become the new AEW Tag Team Champions. Private Party, 5 years in the AEW, finally, getting that shine and becoming the tag team champs. Love to see it. I do know the Hardys are going to House of Glory in December. I'm not sure who they're facing yet, and it would be dope if Private Party can actually return to Hog as the tag team champions and fight the Hardys. Like I think that'd be pretty dope. Even though the Hardys no longer, part of AEW, like that'd be kind of crazy. Like it come full circle as far as them, working with Private Party again. Like I think that'd be pretty cool as a match. So.
I'd be lit.
Yeah, but Mr. Swerve, he defeated Shelton Benjamin, in the main event match at Dynamite. MVP, was outside of the ring, pulled his phone out, decided to make a phone call. He was calling on someone, and whoever that someone was literally right nearby, to grace his appearance. And that person was none other than former WWE superstar Bobby Lashley making his AEW debut at Dynamite. This look by MVP is cracking me up. I definitely gotta make a meme out of this. This is definitely future meme right here.
MVP so thorough. He made a phone call and he had music and
right.
And the Titantron already for him and
lights went out.
Like man, like that's a manager.
Yeah, right. Hey man, it's all about that business. But Bobby Lashley, former WWE superstar, now part of the AEW roster. came out. Both him, MVP, and Shelton attacked both Strickland and Prince Nana. And MVP was saying to Nana, like, you did this, you started all of this, and basically closed out Dynamite saying that the business is back. So, gentlemen, you thoughts about the Hurt Business now making an impact, no point intended, in AEW?
What's name? Number one, real quick, did it hurt Syndicate now, right? I don't think they
They,
called it hurt. I don't think they called it Hurt Business anymore.
well, it's definitely not the Hurt Business, but he said the business is back.
Yeah, but that's what I think they called
But
it because
the
they playing on
syndicate,
the
yeah.
words. But I think they called that Hurt Syndicate now.
Yeah, it's definitely the syndicate because I know
Yeah,
that's what Shelton's been rocking, like on
yeah,
the
they said
site.
the Syndicate. Yeah, what's name? It's cool to see him in AEW. I'm glad Sheldon, whether on AEW or ROH, is getting that platform and showing how good he is and how underappreciated he was in the WWE. He's still in my top five of the most underappreciated wrestlers of all time, not just like WWE guys. I'm like, especially WWE guys. He's like to me one like how good he was and never been at that top tier looked at talent just because he couldn't cut a promo was like, come on, man. Those the old pervy guy days. So it is what it is. What's his name? But yeah, Lashley's a beast. They should book him as a freaking destroyer. Like this, how the way WWE booked Brock. That's the way how they were supposed to book Lashley when he was over there. They were supposed to book him exactly the same way. This big destroyer, athletic guy who could just run through people. I hope they do that in AEW. They got the mouthpiece MVP because Shell's not that great on the microphone. Neither is Lashley. But MVP is one of the best talkers I've heard on a microphone, and with them together, it's going to be good. And I hope they just wreck people in AEW. I'm mad they started with Swerve. I ain't gonna lie, I'm mad with that, but I guess it just is what it is. But it like, come on, it could be anybody. Like just like we're like, leave my boy alone.
I mean, they had to make an impact. I mean, literally, they took out the entire security that came out
And
after the spot.
take out Okada. What the hell? Like seriously, take him out. Like he ain't even doing it. He just run around calling people bitch and just that's it. Like it's like
Wait, I was just about to say, Okada just texted me. He said, "Tell Chris, bitch."
yeah, that's all he's doing. One of the best in ring talents in the last 9 years, and that's all they're doing with him.
Yeah, and it makes the crowd pop.
It does.
So
That's what I'm
they hear,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah. The Asian guy knows how to say bitch. It's like, gee, come on, y'all. Like, God.
No, it's cool though, but definitely more to come with the Syndicate, Swerve Strickland, Prince Nana, and it's likely going to set up for a fight at Full Gear coming up at the end of November. So, gentlemen, closing out the show, we got the Fourth Rope Presents Hills Have Eyes 3 event still praying going down Saturday evening in Chicago, Illinois. And definitely this card right here. Oh man. It's a banger. Definitely a banger. And if in the words of Sheamus, if he was here right now, banger after banger after banger. But Joey, I know you've been following this lineup very very closely. I'll let you go first. Your thoughts on the card going down tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that main event is insane. Uh, Sami Callahan versus Nick Gage, which I didn't even see this match.
Oh, my fault. Let me go ahead.
I
Yeah,
didn't even know that match.
Santana and Blackwood. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice match.
Oh yeah.
This card from top to bottom is incredible.
Wait, not for nothing. Weren't we supposed to have Kevin Blackwood on the show about a couple months ago?
Not that I remember.
Maybe I'm tripping.
I don't recall that.
All right. Well, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, if he wants to come on,
Yeah, no, I thought it was something that you know what I mean with Rich, but no, Joey, my fault. Not to go
AJ
lie.
Francis versus Joe Henry.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pull up a list to see if there was like the full card, like without, you know what I mean, like 'cause, like all this is stuff that we found, but like there's not a list anywhere of like the actual card.
right.
Because all these matches are huge, you know what I mean? You would think there would be like some matches that.
Yeah, these some big matches. This might had that checkbook wide open.
Yeah, West Side Gun.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
But
Yeah,
but no, I mean overall, I mean you got Enzo, and you know the card's incredible, but the main event is what's drawing people, and you know his first true match since stepping away from GCW, and it's versus Sami Callihan, which I believe I heard Nick talk. He said it's like a cage match,
Mm.
which is what it's referring to. So it's gonna be interesting to see, and I think if I'm not mistaken, MVP's got a role in it tomorrow too.
Mm. You know what? You're right. I think he's the general manager for you know for the fourth rope, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I remember hearing him say something about that,
Oh shit.
like in the announcement. Like even aside from the matches, like we also got some musical appearances going down with Derringer and Rome Streets. Anybody familiar with like with Benny and them, and we also got the legendary DJ Premier and Pete Rock. Like literally, like, you got
Oh,
pro
wow.
wrestling, and you got legendary hip hop in the building. Like shit, I wish I was in Chicago.
So
Yeah.
our younger audiences Google them.
Yeah, that definitely. Like
Yeah.
you'll understand how legendary these musical artists are, and to have this matchup with the hip hop and pro wrestling, like man, like
So Fourth Row just dropped a shirt that's gonna be on sale tomorrow. It's Joe Hendry. And it's a picture of Joe Henry, and on the front, right, it's Joe Hendry, and then
yeah.
it's got a picture of the UK flag, the French flag, the Japan flag, the American flag, the Canada flag, and the Mexico flag.
Oh wow,
Which,
Oh,
if you
wow.
do the song, it's London, Paris,
and
Yeah.
Tokyo,
Americans. But
something
like,
like
so
that.
that's bad as shit. And the back of it is the back of Joe Hendry, and it says "Say His Name."
No,
That's
that's
a
dope.
dope ass shirt.
No, that's super dope. That
Moose
Moose
and
and that
Zilla.
Moose and Zilla gonna be tight too,
That joint be
and
crazy.
that's actually for the fourth rope heavyweight championship. So
So here's the thing about that match. You know, obviously Moose, you know, he works more now with TNA and stuff.
yeah.
So I feel like his style switched up a little bit from Moose that was on the indie scene and Moose that's a full blown Impact wrestler at this point. For this match, I want the old Moose back. You know, I want the rough and rugged Moose who just ran through people. That's who I
Mm.
want to fight Zilla. Not that there's anything wrong with the TNA Moose. I'm just saying I want the old Moose back to kind of, you know, go shot for shot with Zilla here.
Yeah, I think we probably could see that between these two, like especially like with the style. It's all, I want to say it's not necessarily a style clash. Like I think Moose and Zilla can work that style that you're describing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm hoping they announce something that it's going to be streamed. There's going to be recorded for a stream, something.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. Like I've been looking out for it, but I haven't heard anything about any streaming unless he's preparing to do something like later on with the footage. But
I
mhm.
already know Eric Bischoff's going to be at MLW, and they're streaming that show on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I was going set something up about that, and I was like, dude, does anybody really care?
Not really, no.
No.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, like oh man,
Americans.
nah, are you singing Joe Hendry over there, Joey?
It's stuck. Once you say it, it gets stuck in your fucking head.
No, I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I find myself randomly singing Joe Hendry song from time to time. Like it's just just out of nowhere. I'll be in the middle of a case at work, in my head all here's I believe in Joe Hendry. Like, oh my gosh, man. Damn you, Joe Hendry. Damn you.
Yeah.
So, all right, gentlemen.
You know what's wild to say, guys, real quick?
Yeah.
The next time we do our show next week, we'll have a new president of the United States.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
That's insane to think.
This is true.
And depending what happens, it will depend if I'll be here next. It's like no. it's like no. Yeah, whatever happens.
Country. If she doesn't win.
Yeah, whatever happens. And if something happens, I'm moving to Canada. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
If she doesn't win, I'm moving to Canada.
I'm moving to Canada.
Canada is not accepting any American. It's like, no.
They like, nope, you guys had your chance. Nope.
Like, no, my brother. You got to stay over.
You got to stay over there. Like, what?
I'm gonna just move to Switzerland or something.
Yeah.
I like put myself in one of those barrels and jump off Niagara Falls and like.
Oh my god!
Hopefully, I float over to the Canadian side. You gotta accept me then.
You gotta accept me now. I'm over here.
Y'all crazy, man. So,
like,
all right.
And they're like, "What about your kids? Fuck them. Fuck them."
Yeah. Give me some.
Had to trick fuck them kids.
Where's the Canadian bacon, man?
Yeah, y'all better chill.
What about them kids? Tell them I have to get some milk.
Right. I'll be back.
I'll be back with some milk.
Daddy went to get some bread.
Whenever I leave my house, because YouTube be teaching these kids some crazy shit.
Right.
Whenever I'm leaving the house, my son will always say, "Are you getting some milk?" I'll be like, "What the fuck?"
If you said yes, he'd be like, "You ain't coming back."
I'm like, "Bro, it's 2024. My phone is tracked everywhere I move. I can't just disappear on the face of the earth like before when the old, you know what I mean?"
Yeah. You can just put stop sharing location.
Government always tracking your shit.
Exactly. I tell people IP addresses are new social security numbers.
Yeah. But you know what's wild, bro? I got an iPhone 16 the other day. They got a VPN spot built in now.
Oh wow.
I can just click on VPN and it turns it on.
Interesting. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I don't know if I like that. But all right, gentlemen, we about the 132 mark. Before we go, anything else before we kick on out of here?
Enjoy them Saudi shows, and for the people who are going to NXT next Wednesday at 2300 Arena, I am jealous as shit. I know you're going. What's name? But I hope it's a great show. I will be working, so it wouldn't matter. So I'm not going to be going, but I will be there in spirit. And Jada Parker, I love you.
I'll make sure that's
that's about it.
I'm like, Jada. My homie Chris said. He said, "What's up?" But anyway, what's up with us? It's like, no.
Thank you, Five fans. We got some stuff possibly going on. People, stay tuned. Like we rocking. We independent right now.
Say no.
we independent. We gonna keep rocking. We gonna keep trying to elevate.
Yeah, our spots won't change. Might just be out in a couple places.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, so
stay tuned.
Right. The more the merrier.
Yep, got some stuff happening, so just stay tuned.
All right, gentlemen. Well, in that case, we're gonna get on out of here. This was Still Steps, Mr. Joey Woods, Mr. Moyerford Chris Wilson. I am Politicking Hot, and we'll be hollering.